came across this video of Rio Ferdinand talking about the AFCON, the time AFCON has been played and all this. Watch this.
So many more African players playing on the big stage, on the biggest stage in the Premier League and in other European leagues and Champions League. So when them players are leaving, it's diluting the quality of the Premier League and La Liga and all the other leagues that we're talking about. So there's got to be a push for this tournament to be put in around the same times as the other tournaments that are going on. The Euros, do you know what I mean? The Copa América. Why are they played in the times when everyone's off? But the African...
So, do you agree with Rio Ferdinand? Because according to what he said there should be shift in the time period they play this AFCON. That should be played normally at the period of where the Euro has been played, where the Copa América has been played, where most of these players are off. It should be played exactly at the same time. So reckoning that most of these African players are very, very vital for most of this European team they are playing for. We could call names. Victor Osimhen, who is the most important player for Galatasaray. And I'm sure Rio Ferdinand is talking about this based on the recent loss of form of Manchester United since their two best players, Amad Diallo and Mbeumo, all left for the AFCON. And we could also call many names, many of these names who have been representing their various countries in this ongoing AFCON. And do you agree with them? Do you actually agree with Rio Ferdinand's comments? And while listening to the video, I watched the video up to 2 to 3 times to understand what he's saying. And I also read it. And I will say he's right. He's right. Although I'm kind of happy that at least during this December, we could also witness an AFCON going on. But this has been the period that AFCON has been played. AFCON is being played every December. But the problem I have with this AFCON is now they made it every year. Normally they make it every 2 years. But now they are making it every year. Now, from now on, they are thinking of making it 4 years, every 4 years, which is normal and which is fine. But I think they should leave it at that 2 years. They normally make it because it gives it more, there are more African players around the world. They can promote the African continent football. They can promote everything about Africa. Making it 4 years is it's too much. It's too much. They should think about it and reschedule. But this comment of Rio Ferdinand, I kind of agree with him because, yes, we Africans, we love our tournaments, but it's being played at a period where the league is going on, where the Champions League is going on, where most of these top European league are being played. I'm very, very sure that many people who are going to disagree with him have their clubs where they support. Most of these Africans support the teams from Spain, the teams from England, the teams from Germany, or wherever, or Portugal, whatever. And imagine when your own favorite country, your own country, is playing at the same time your club side is playing. How are you going to watch it? How are you going to watch it? I think Africa should look at it, should study it very well. I think the board and directors of Africa should just look into this matter because it's a very intelligent statement. And it shows that African players are being valued. Imagine a top club like Manchester United are finding it difficult because their 2 star players are playing for Africa, which is good, which is absolutely amazing because years before, we cannot count the same, we cannot say the same thing. Or we're going to talk about Galatasaray, or we're going to talk about Morocco, which have a lot of good players who plays for European side. Nigeria, Ghana, all this, Senegal, So I honestly kind of agree with Rio Ferdinand, and I think the African board, the people who are in charge of this Football Federation of Africa, they should look into this matter because it's something that actually makes sense. It actually makes sense. They should look for the time where all this Latin America plays because I see the period where the Euro Cup is being played. They play the same time as the Copa America. So Africa too should start for those times and put their own because I think everybody wants to support, and I believe although people kind of paint the European tournament as the brightest, as the shiniest, based on the media, based on the level, and based on the atmosphere, because you cannot find any European game empty. So we have to do the same thing in our Africa. Like I've said before, we have to promote our heritage. We have to promote our club. I think the best players in the world right now are Africans. Are Africans, although they are playing for European countries, they are representing European countries, but they are actually Africans. And we have more talent in Africa. So why not understand? Don't see this as a disadvantage. Don't see this as to diminish the standard of football in Africa. I believe that Africa has talent. What they just need is eye and effort and also investment. Because if Africa had that same investment as Europe, you will be seeing exciting football. If you have not been seeing exciting football in this AFCON, I don't know what you're watching. I think you're being biased. I think this AFCON is one of the best tournaments so far. There is literally no boring game in this AFCON. Every game has been outstanding. So, reading that comment and seeing the video of Rio Ferdinand just made me understand that, yeah, could actually fit in. Putting Africa into that Nations Cup, into that frame of where the European League or whatever it's called, whenever the countries in Europe face themselves in this Euro, and of course the Copa America, that same time frame, it should be put at the same time. Because as it stands, African players now are getting more and more important for their team, not just home, mostly away. We're talking about European continent. Clubs like Man U, Chelsea, Real Madrid, Barcelona, all have Africans in there. Okay, I refrain. African, there's no Barcelona, there's no African. Oh, they have Africans, although they don't represent their country. All of them have Africans. If you say Barcelona doesn't have African, Balde is an African, Lamine Yamal is an African. A lot of them are Africans. So why are we trying that? Because when I watched the video, I saw a lot of comments behind that Rio Ferdinand video. People were just bashing him. Hey, we like it the way we are. Why does African just, before you say something, think about it, reflect. That period, the Euro has been playing. That period, the Copa America has been playing. That is a very good period that African tournament should be played. At least we have the strongest voice. By the time our football and our fans take over the world stage, people will forget about Copa America. People will be focused, very, very focused on AFCON, and we will be able to promote it much more, because then we don't have the Premier League to worry about. Then we don't have the La Liga, the Italian Serie A, the whatever, the German Bundesliga. Then we don't worry the time frame, because this time we are focused on Africa. We could give more effort into African football. Let me know what you think about your Ferdinand's comments, and let me know what you think about this video. Guys, we are on your road to 1,000. Without you guys, we can't get there. Remember, like, comment, and subscribe. I will see you in the next video. Peace.